Hey folks, how you all doing? Lloyd here, or Mr. Hats as I'm known as in the VC. I've been pondering doing this ranking video for a long time now. I did do it on my other channels. I also did a three-way video with Richard McCook and Rob Walker with their singles as well. And recently I've seen one on Ian's channel, which was a four-way tier ranking, so I thought I'll do this again and see what happens. And yeah, so it's the 16 UK singles by The Jam, plus the 3 AA side tracks, plus the 2 imports that made the charts. So there's a ranking of 21 to 1. So let's see how this goes. At number 21 on my list, we're going to go for Start. I've never liked this song, not since the day I first saw it on one of the video shows here in Australia back in 1980. It did get to number 1 in England, but I think that was off the back of the brilliant Going Underground from earlier in the year, which is what often happens with artists. The fact that it is a clear, plagiarised, almost bass note, note for note, carbon copy and rhythm rip-off of George Harrison / the Beatles' Taxman. Yeah, really do not like this song, and I just can't understand why for the life of me George Harrison did not sue Paul Weller over this song. Probably because he'd been sued for something that was probably unintentional. Maybe this was unintentional, but it was too close. It was too close not to actually not be seen by anyone as being, you know, a carbon copy, plagiaristic version of a Jam song. So yeah, never liked it, never cared for it. Doesn't even work on the Sound Effects album, in my opinion. That song, it's a different version from the single version from memory, but it's the only thing I don't like on the Sound Effects album as well. So number 20 on my list, we're going to go to the Going Underground Dreams of Children double A side, and the track I'm picking on this occasion is Dreams of Children. I've never liked this song at all either. Again, it's got the backwards guitars, the loops, everything that the Beatles created basically, and it's sort of psychedelia. It doesn't work. There's nothing catchy about the song, and I can't for the life of me see why anyone would have listened to this song on the radio and gone, you know what, I'm going to buy that single on the strength of that song. I can only see it being purchased from Going Underground, and yet just never liked it. So Dreams of Children is number 20 for me. I'll leave that one out because that comes up later as well. Number 19 on my list, we're going to go to their second import that made the UK charts, but the first one I'm going to show on my list right here, and it's just Who Is the 5 O'Clock Hero. This was on the Gift album. It was released in Germany and probably other countries as well. I remember it getting some airplay out here as well in Australia. To me, it's not a single. It's a half decent album track, but just not worthy of being a single in my opinion, so that's why this one is so low. If anything, I would have preferred the Great Depression to have been the A side, or at least a double A side, but yeah, it's not to be. Next up, number 18 on my list, we're going to go to another double A side, and it's David Watts backed with A Bomb in Wardour Street. We're going to be looking at A Bomb in Wardour Street on this occasion. This is one of my favourite Jam songs, but it's an album track. It doesn't work as a single in my opinion. It's just a great solid album track from the All Mod Cons album, but it just doesn't work as a single in my opinion, so that's why it's that low. Number 17, we're going to go to another double A side, a town called Malice and Precious. Going to be looking at Precious. I love this song. I think it's absolutely brilliant as an album track. It doesn't work as a single, and again, I can't see how anyone would have heard this on the radio and gone, you know what, I'm going to buy that single. Nah, it doesn't doesn't work in my opinion, but a great album, a track. It's very funky, very danceable, but it's just not a jam A-side in my opinion, even though it was a double A-side. And yeah, I just don't think it got to number one. The single got to number one on the strength of this song. It was certainly Town Called Malice, so that's at number 17. Next up, we're going to go to number 16 on my list, and we're going to go to The Beat Surrender. So, this is a double-edged song for me. I love the tune, I love the melody, I love the verses, I love Bruce and Paul bouncing off each other with lines. I think it's absolutely brilliant, but I do not like the "come on boy, come on girl, succumb to the beat, surrender." And as was brought up in Ian's tier ranking video the other week, the way Paul Weller says succumber instead of succumb, I don't, it's cringeworthy, it's really horrible, and that just lets this whole song down for me. And it's really not a good song to close off the career of the Jam in my opinion. Had I been ranking the other songs in this 2-pack EP, then it would certainly be a lot higher, but it's a fairly weak last single in my opinion. Number 15 on my list, we're going to go to News of the World. Yeah, it's a good song. This is the first song I really like, to be honest with you. Beat Surrender's okay, but as a single, nah. So as a single, News of the World, pretty good song. This was Bruce sung this song from memory, wasn't it? It's just, the lyrics are a bit cringe-worthy. I love the melody, I love the tune, but it's just a bit simplistic for me to really get into. Number 13 on my list, we're going to go to 1979, surprisingly, and I've got When You're Young. A few years ago, I would have said the 3 singles from 1979 are basically, you're holding 3 aces in your hand, basically. But when I listened to this last week, I thought, you know what? This song sounds forced. It sounds like it was contractual obligations to get out another single by the end of the year. That's just how it feels to me. And then I went back and looked at the video, and the video on YouTube, and I thought, they don't even look enthusiastic or happy in the video, or even miming to the song in the video. They just look bleh, like they're going through the motions. So yeah, that's really put me off this song, sadly, which is strange. But I do like the B-side, Smithers Jones, a lot. Next up, number 13 on my list, All Around the World. It's a solid, I wouldn't even call it punk. It's a solid rocker. Really like it a lot. So that's that one there. Next up, we're going to go to the David Watts A Bomb in Wardour Street double A side again, and we're going to go for David Watts. I really like this. It's a cover of a Kink song, and I think it's a really good cover version. I think Bruce sings this really well, this song. He does a really good job. The reason why it's probably so low in my list is because it is a cover version and not an original, but it's still a really good song. Number 11 in my list, we're going to go to The Modern World. Brilliant, sheer brilliance. This is punk rock at just about its finest, without actually being punk rock. It fits into the whole punk rock ethos, but it's not a punk rock record. But yeah, great song, and yes, has stood the test of time really well in my opinion. Now we're up to the top 10. I'm going to go to the debut single. What a brilliant debut single. Only charted, reached number 40 I think in the UK charts, but it had all the oomph and power and angst you would expect from a punk rock song, and these guys are there in their suits. Absolutely brilliant. In fact, yeah, they could have released another song off this album. Actually, they could have released Art School as a single. There is a video for it on the internet. That would have been a great one, as would Away from the Numbers. They would have both been great singles from the album. But this is absolute classic debut single by any band anywhere, in my opinion. Next up, number 9, we are going to go to 1981, Absolute Beginners. Paul Weller did say in an interview once that 1981 was a horrible year for music, and I think he was, in hindsight, looking back at his own 2 singles from that year, because I don't think he really liked them. I really like it. I like the brass section on this. I like the everything about it. To me, it's just a really uplifting song. It sounds like nothing the Jam had done before, and I think that's probably the problem with the Jam overall. Nothing wrong with this song, but just the problem that Paul was moving away too fast from the Jam sound. So by 1982, the Jam really weren't the Jam anymore. If you get my meaning, they didn't sound like the Jam. So yeah, he was certainly moving in different areas. But yeah, great song nonetheless, and I still really love the video for that. Number 8 on my list, we're going to go to Funeral Pyre. Paul's voice sounds a bit off in this song, but the reason it is so high, it's Bruce's bass work, it's Rick's pounding drum work, and it's the lyrics. It still has the punk ethos attached to this. It's sort of a drift backwards after you had Setting Suns, which was a real rocking album. Then you had Sound Effects, which was almost sparse and minimalist, for want of a better phrase. And this one goes back to something that's real dense and solid, and it works, just except Paul's vocals. But everything else on this is absolutely top notch, in my opinion. Number 7 on my list, we are going to go to Import, their first Import single, which charted in the UK. That's Entertainment. This would have been a lot higher had it have been a UK release. I would have much preferred this from the Sound Effects album being a UK single, as opposed to Start. Start doesn't... It's a nothing song, as I've mentioned previously. This, I love the acoustic sounds on it. I love the la 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 la. I love all that. I love the harmonies. I love the 60s pop sound that's going on with it. And these are some Paul's finest lyrics over his entire career, in my opinion. One of his greatest set of lyrics ever. Great track. Reason it's not high is that it actually wasn't released as a single in the UK. Number 6 on my list, we're going to go to Down in the Tube Station at Midnight. Social commentary song, and he just nails it. Looking at life in that particular part of the world in and around the tube stations of London at midnight, and the problems associated with social issues. It's basically as good as anything Ray Davies ever wrote, in my opinion, as a social commentary, social observation song. Absolutely brilliant. Great stuff. Number 5 on my list, and we are going to go to 1980 again, Going Underground and the Dreams of Children. It's Going Underground. This is probably their signature tune. This is the song, well, that here in Australia, that did get a lot of airplay on the video shows, and a lot of English people actually looked and went, wow, this is really cool. It didn't sell. You could hardly find it in a record shop. It was never gonna be sold out here. But this was the song that got people talking about the Jam, as teenagers in your little groups, with your skinheads and your scar skins, and your mods had just started then as well again. And this was the one that really got people talking about Paul Weller and the Jam. It's this is their signature tune in my opinion. Great punchy rock, great stuff. Number 4 on my list, their first UK top 10, the Eton Rifles. Yeah, great song. This was their first UK top 10. It was the one that really brought them into the limelight in the UK, and it's just an absolutely fabulous song. Social commentary song again, something Paul Weller has returned to time and time again in his career, and these are the sorts of songs that he is really good at and excels at and lifts him above other songwriters. So great stuff, the Eton Rifles. Number 3 on my list, we're going to go to 1979 again with Strange Town. I think this is a fist pumping tune. Another social commentary song. Basically, not as in-depth or as clever as Eton Rifles or Down the Tube Station at Midnight, for example, but a great song. It's punchy, it's foot tapping, it's fist pumping, it's just a great song. I love the video for this song as well. And yeah, the other day when I played When You're Young, this one and Eton Rifles, just to see the order they would go in, yeah, this is still good rock and roll, solid rock and roll in my opinion. Great stuff. Number 2 on my list, we're going to go to the Town Called Malice, Precious, double A side, and it's Town Called Malice. This was their first real hit outside of the UK, and it certainly was here in Australia. It was the first one that really got a lot of radio airplay. It's got that distinct Motown sound happening to it, and at that time I was actually just discovering Marvin Gaye, Diana Ross, the Four Tops, my mum's favourite being Mary Wells as well. So for a band that I'd just been getting into, 1980 with Going Underground, then Absolute Beginners and Funeral Pyre, this was absolutely brilliant. This just knocked my socks off that the Jam were doing a Motown song. Doesn't sound like the Jam. It's really not the Jam, but yeah, it's the Jam. But I was so disappointed with the Gift album when I purchased it. It just didn't live up to this single at all. 3 or 4 really great songs on it, but yeah, great stuff in my opinion. Then 1982, I went straight out and purchased the follow-up to Town Called Malice, which was The Bitterest Pill. Had a bit of a soul R&B type thing happening, but again, it's not a Jam song. It's like nothing else in their catalogue. Paul Weller tries a bit of falsetto in it. He doesn't do it. He can't do it. But yeah, it's still a great song. I love the video. I love everything about it, but it's not a Jam single. I'd like to say it's the start of the push towards the Style Council. He had the R&B soul thing happening with Town Called Malice. He took it a bit further with this one, putting strings and orchestrations and all the rest of it. But it's still not a Style Council song either. It's just, it sits alone in the Jam catalogue. It's sort of in there like a, Halley's Comet. It just, every now and then it just circles around, but it doesn't belong in the solar system, so to speak. But it just keeps coming around and around. It's just, yeah, it's hard to describe it, but I just love this song. It's just my favourite Jam single of all time, if you want to call it a Jam single. So that's it, folks. Anyway, that's my list of the 21 songs that made the UK chart for the Jam between 1977 1982. Leave your comments in the comments section below. What do you think of any of these songs? Am I totally wrong with having The Bitterest Pill at number 1? Yeah, I don't know. I'm not. I love it. Everyone else seems to say otherwise. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Stay safe, take care, catch you around, and bye, folks.